Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Melissa. Well, I'm sure you guys are wondering where the heck I've been and why I haven't really been posting on YouTube, and that's pretty much what this video is going to be. It's going to be like a life update, a little story time, I guess, bringing out a little bit of my, I don't want to say my inner Tana Mojo, but you'll get a little story time today. And just kind of like a life update because I've been MIA from YouTube and I meant to film like a dozen times, but I just never got around to it, or the times that I did film, I hated it and I didn't want to post it. So we'll dive into everything since I've been gone because it's been a lot. Yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Okay, I think we're rolling. My camera like malfunctioned like 3 times while I was trying to get this going here, but like the title says, we're gonna be doing a life update. I'm distracted, oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna do a life update, little story time. I'm wearing yellow. I never wear yellow. Shameless plug, you can check out my yellow color block series on my Instagram at xmelissa_danielle. If you're just on Instagram, you can check me out, give me a follow, like some of my yellow pictures. Anyway, so I've been gone for a while. A lot had to do with me starting a new job and just working really crazy hours because it was just me and like one other full-time person at my job. So everyone else like either quit or went to part-time, and there were so many hours that needed to be filled, and some weeks I was literally working 46 to 48 hours. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, that's part of the reason the first like month or so, like 3 weeks to a month, I was just working, and by the time I would come home, I'd be like, oh my god, I want to film this. I want to do a full face of Nyx, or I want to do more in deep Q&A so people can get to know me better, or whatever. I had so many ideas in my head for videos. Also, don't mind my hands. I just did a bunch of the foam self tanner and I'm a little bit darker, but anyway, I'm getting into too many things. So my work was just insane. I was just working a lot of hours, and by the time I got home, I was so exhausted I would just go to bed because I didn't have any energy in me to film a video or even try to think of time to set aside to film, or I just had no time. And then we got another person at work, so it was balanced out a bit, but I was still coming home and my energy level was literally depleted. It was at a 0, so I just couldn't film because I had no energy to film. And by the time I got home, all I wanted to do was go to sleep, and that's what I did. I worked, I came home, I had dinner, and I went to bed for like a month straight, which sounds really boring, because it is. I just didn't have it in me. And for those people that either make YouTube or their like social life a career and have all this energy to film videos, props to you, because I know filming and being like an influencer and, you know, creating content and videos doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. And I give a lot of credit to people that literally do it on a daily basis. It was the middle of May. I had gotten sick again. And if you guys are like, again, like what happened? Like, I have been dealing with my health for over a year now. When I was still living in Oregon, it was right around this time, like in June of last year, I remember waking up in the middle of the night, like 1, 2 in the morning, to the worst stomach pain of my life. And I was I just remember being in this tremendous amount of pain, and to the point where I couldn't walk. I had to roll out of bed and crawl to the other side of my room to put my shoes on to drive myself to the hospital. And it just felt like this incredible, like, stabbing pain in the center of my stomach. And I was like, oh my God, is this food poisoning? Like, I don't know what's going on. Is it something I ate? Like, I don't know. Because I had never felt like this pain before. So I remember trying to, like, make myself throw up, because in the back of my mind I'm like, oh, it's just food poisoning, like I just ate something bad and I just need to purge it and I'll be fine. And I remember trying to make myself throw up before I went to the hospital, and I threw up a couple times, but the pain just got worse, if that even makes any sense. But the pain just kept getting worse as the hours went on, and it was probably like the second or third hour that I had this pain. I was like, okay, I have to go to the hospital. And my roommates were gone. They were either at work or whatever, but none of them were home. So I had to literally roll myself out of bed, drag myself across my room, and put my tennis shoes on. And I literally crawled out of my house into my car, drove myself to the Samaritan Hospital in Albany, and they winded up telling me that it was stress. They couldn't find anything. They did a bunch of tests, and they basically told me that I was over-exaggerating my pain and that it was just stress and that I needed to go home and relax. They sent me home with an anti-anxiety medicine, and they just were like, off you go. So eventually the pain, like, just faded away on its own. It was the weirdest pain that the weirdest thing as far as pain that I've ever felt in my life, where it was so bad for, I would say, almost for 4 hours while I was at the hospital, and then just slowly faded away to where it was like just a little cramping kind of feeling to, you know, a tolerable pain where I could go home. They sent me home with an anti-anxiety medicine and basically told me, like, don't go to work for the next couple days. You just need bed rest. You need to relax because you're stressed out. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, you know, they're doctors. I knew that in the back of my mind, it wasn't stress, but I'm entrusting my health onto these professional people, these doctors, and they told me it was stress, so I just rolled with it. I was like, I'm just stressed out, and it kind of made sense at the time because I was working a hellish job, and I was working like 12-hour days at this just anxiety-filled workspace. And so it kind of made sense at the time. I was like, yeah, like, I'm feeling super overwhelmed at work. I feel like I don't have any support at work, and I'm just kind of working and working and working and paying my bills and just getting by. But again, I just entrusted the doctors. I was like, okay, it was just stress and it was just a manic episode and I'll be fine. I just have to take it easy for a bit, and then, you know, going forward, just make sure that on my days off, I'm doing things for me and I'm relaxing and I'm just, you know, trying to be as anxiety free as possible, which was really hard to do at that time in my life because I was going through a lot of shit. But anyway, that was the start of it. And for like a month afterwards, I felt fine. It didn't seem like it was anything I ate. I went on vacation in Hawaii. I had a crap ton of food there, from like food trucks to different Hawaiian restaurants and donuts and a bunch of stuff that I really shouldn't have eaten, but I was on vacation, so I was like, whatever. So I didn't think that this stomach thing was something causing from food or anything. I really thought it was stress. So a couple months go by and I don't feel this pain for probably the next like 5 or 6 months. And then in, I think it was like November, December, I started feeling weird after my meals. And I was like, okay, so I just gotta like cut back, because at that time I was eating a lot like out. I was having Taco Bell like for dinner like 2 to 3 times a week, and I was, having really heavy like Mexican food takeout and Chinese takeout, and I was just eating really, really bad. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to like cut that back a little bit and start making things at home, and started feeling kind of weird, like kind of that pain again, but it wasn't as intense as it was in June. So I was like, okay, I'm going to cut back a little bit. So I did, and got better, and pain went away. And then when I moved here in Arizona in February, it was the first week that I was here. I don't even remember what I ate, but it was probably within like an hour after I ate, I had that feeling again from June. The same gut-wrenching, doubled over pain. And I was like, what is happening? And I don't even think that I was eating anything like that bad. I'm pretty sure I just had something normal for dinner or whatever, but I was feeling horrible afterwards. And I was like, okay, well, I know my body, and they told me it was stress a year ago, but this right now, what I'm feeling is not stress. And I was like, okay, I gotta, again, I'm thinking something I ate. So I'm like, okay, I gotta make myself throw up. I gotta, try to purge a little bit. And I did. It didn't really make things better. I mean, the pain wasn't as intense after I purged, but I was like, man, like I still feel horrible. And I just went to bed because I was like, I don't have health insurance. I don't want to go to like an urgent care or a hospital because they're going to charge me up the ass for being there without insurance. And I know that sounds really bad because, I'm in pain. I should go to the hospital, but there's that awful feeling in the back of my head, like, if I go, they're going to send me a bill eventually, and I'm not going to be able to pay that bill because I don't have insurance. And again, I know that sounds really, really shitty, but that's how I was thinking. I was like, I don't have insurance. I can't go to the hospital. So I just wrote out the pain. I sat in my bed and I cried for hours. And I remember my mom was like rubbing my back, and she was telling me, she's like, it's gonna pass soon, like it's okay, like just trying to console me because I was literally in just so much pain. And I was like, man, I don't want to feel like this. I'm tired of having to like tiptoe around what I'm eating because my stomach is gonna get upset or react like this. So I kind of cut back a little bit, and for a good like 2 to 3 weeks, I was eating really clean. Like I would usually I would skip breakfast because I don't really get hungry in the morning, but I was eating a lot of fruits. And I know that sounds like a big thing, but for me it was, because I was just eating like Taco Bell and, I was Postmating a lot of stuff and just eating really bad. So I'm like, for a good like 3 weeks, I was eating really, really clean. And then it was the fast forward to a couple episodes after that where I had eaten some chicken, or I had some vanilla ice cream, like plain stuff, where I would be doubled over in pain again for hours at a time, just hoping and praying. I was like praying, I'm like, please just pass. Like 2 to 3 hours after I would eat, I'm still in so much pain. I'm literally in the fetal position in my bed crying because I'm like, oh, I'm tired of like, it didn't really matter at that point what I was eating, whether it was chicken or ice cream or whatever it was. I took that chance that I could be doubled over in pain with just about anything that I was eating. And a couple episodes later, where I would just, sit in bed and just hope for the best and wait till the pain eventually faded away and passed. Then fast forward to the last week of May, where again, I had eaten something pretty simple. Oh my God, I'm trying to remember what I ate. Honestly, I can't remember what I ate, but it was probably like within 40 minutes of me eating, I attempted to go to sleep and couldn't fall asleep because my stomach started to hurt. And it started I could feel my stomach like turning, and it just felt uncomfortable. It wasn't pain at first, it was just uncomfortable. And I was like, oh my God, please, I don't want to do this tonight. Like, I have to work tomorrow. Like, please, 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 I don't want to deal with that stomach pain again. And I sat there for about an hour, and after that hour passed, I started feeling this horrible, horrible pain again. And I'm like, okay, great. So, again, I don't have health insurance. I still don't have health insurance today, but I didn't have health insurance then. I did not want to go to a hospital, but it got so bad that my mom was like, please let me take you to a hospital. And I was like, okay. So we went in to the Banner Health here, and they told me, hey, like, your gallbladder is inflamed. You have stones. This is not stress. This is serious. And it's because you're eating certain foods. They basically told me that I need to cut out dairy and meats and like fatty foods and, you know, all the junk stuff. And I was like, okay, well, that's like my whole diet. So, but it was just a big shock that after multiple doctors in Oregon telling me, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with you, this is just stress, and sending me home with anti-anxiety medicines, with like muscle relaxers, and, you know, for 3 different doctors in Oregon to tell me the same thing, that I was just exaggerating my pain and that it was just all in my head and was stress. And then for it to turn out to be my gallbladder is inflamed and I actually really have a problem, that made me so mad. I was happy that someone figured out what was going on with me, but I was also so pissed at these doctors in Oregon who told me it was just stress and that I just needed to take it easy and there was nothing wrong, and basically just getting me in and out and writing me a prescription and telling me to go. And I'm not mad that they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I was mad because I went multiple times and they just brushed me off. They treated me like a number. They just wrote me a prescription and they told me to leave. So I wasted so much time going to these doctors in Oregon that I entrusted with my health, and they were just lazy, to be honest. And I think that it's pretty common nowadays for these doctors to just treat you like a number and to just get you in and out, to write you a prescription and tell you to leave. And I actually had kind of like a side story here. One of my coworkers was having some pain as well, and she was telling me the same thing, that even here in Arizona, there are doctors that were just lazy, that treat you like a number and just want to write you a prescription or just want to cut and do surgery and whatever and just be on with it. And she told me that the first thing the doctor said when he had entered her room was, "What can I do for you? Why are you here? How can I help you? How can I..." And I mean, when you're sick and someone is talking to you like you're just a number, it was something else for me. It saddened me, and honestly, it made me kind of lose faith in people that are in our healthcare industry. But that's a different story. I'm not going to get too much into my views on people in the healthcare industry, but back to the doctors here in Arizona who really did tests and had me there and asked me in-depth questions and actually spoke to me and didn't treat me like a number and actually found out what was wrong with me. So thank you for the people at I think it's Abrazo or Abrazo. I don't know how to say this hospital's name, but thank you to those people that helped me over the last couple weeks at this hospital, because I probably would have just been dealing with this pain even today if they didn't take time to figure out what was wrong with me. So they told me, hey, you know what, your gallbladder is inflamed. And they wanted to treat me, the people at Banner Health wanted to treat me as an outpatient, and they were just like, please watch your diet. Like, if you could be on a clear liquid diet or a low fat diet, then you'll be fine. But like, who wants to live on chicken broth and Jello? And like, I don't want to live on chicken broth and Jello. I just don't. So fast forward again to like a week later, I had a chicken burrito and it put me out in pain. So I went back to Abrazo or Abrazo or whatever. I don't know how you say this hospital, but those are the people that helped me and told me, like, this is what you need to do. And they got me in. They ran some more tests just to make certain that it was my gallbladder. And they said, hey, you know what? It is your gallbladder. You need to have surgery. It needs to come out. They told me that it was inflamed and then I had stones. So they scheduled my surgery. I can't remember his name. I know his first name was Francis, but he did my surgery laparoscopically. He took out my gallbladder and everything was good. And it was probably like a couple days later, I still was feeling some pain. And you know what I ate? I had a Jello, and I was still feeling, it wasn't as severe, but I was like, man, I still have some pain. And then they ended up doing the procedure where they stick the camera down your throat, and they figured out I had more stones. So they removed those stones, and now I feel fine. Like, I am not eating like whatever I want. I'm being really choosy about what I eat, and I'm really picky about what goes into my body now, but I don't have that fear of, oh my God, if I eat this, am I going to be doubled over in pain? Like, it's not like that anymore. And I spent like a week and a half at the hospital just to make sure I was fine to go home. Honestly, they did the surgery laparoscopically, so I just have like 4 incisions on my stomach, like ranging in the size of like an inch or so to like maybe 2 inches. I have some on the side here, right on my sternum, and then my belly button is where they like took out my gallbladder. But I'm so happy that I don't have to tiptoe around what I want to eat now. I can just grab something and I don't have to worry about being double over in pain. But again, I'm not just grabbing whatever I want to eat. I'm eating pretty clean for the most part. I've had some, not slip ups, but some points where I eat something that I maybe shouldn't have, and I'm not in pain, but I'm like, oh man, like I feel horrible. And it's not because I'm in pain. I'm just like, why did I eat that? Like, I've been doing so good on what I'm eating, and then I'll go grab. The other day I went and grabbed a hot wing. I had one hot wing, and I was like, I really shouldn't have eaten that. But no pain, and that is the best thing that's happened to me within the last couple months, is that I am eating and I don't feel pain. So, but yeah, that's my story about my health. I'm totally fine now, by the way. I'm good. I'm really bad at texting people back, so there were a few people who were like, I was like, hey, like, I'm going into surgery, see you on the other side, and then I never updated them, and they were like, hey, hello, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine, I'm good, girl. But I just wanted to put this out there that that's the second reason why I hadn't been on YouTube, and just to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on with me. But the other thing is that The reason why I haven't posted is that my channel is going to be moving away from beauty. It's gonna, for a minute, for a break. I'm taking a break from beauty right before I started having all these problems with my health. I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I don't want to out anybody. I don't like confrontation. I don't like problems. I want everything to be like, go with the flow, carefree. Like, I want everyone to be happy and no conflict. But I'll just briefly touch on this, and I'm not going to talk about it ever again. So right before my health issues, there was a up-and-coming makeup company who reached out to me, and they basically were like, hey, you're an up-and-coming, you know, influencer, or whatever you want to call it, and we're an upcoming makeup brand. We want to have you as like a brand ambassador. We want to send you stuff, and we want you to use it and use our products and talk about our products. And I was like, cool, like, I would love to do that. That sounds awesome. So they sent me a couple things, mostly like lipsticks, some powders. I think they sent me a couple like single eyeshadows. I can't remember because it was a couple months ago, but I filmed that, and I found out that they weren't for me. And I didn't really enjoy any of the things that they sent me. They have a lot of potential, but none of their products worked for me. I tried to make them work. I played with them for like a week before I gave up, and I was like, this just isn't working for me. And I was getting ready to edit my video on like a first impressions, like try on kind of video, and they reached back out to me again, and they were like, hey, like, we've noticed you haven't posted anything, like, what's going on? And I was like, hi, yeah, I'm sorry, like, I'm trying to get it together, I'm editing, and I'm gonna put out my video and maybe put like an Instagram post out. I'm not certain, because that's where they reached out to me on Instagram. And they basically were like, hey, can you send us the video for review before you put it out? And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I can send you the video, but either way, I'm gonna post it. And they basically were like, what's going on? Like, because I mean, I wasn't too excited to work with them. When I sent them the video, I basically was like, you know what, here's a copy of the video. I'm gonna tell you that the video is pretty boring, actually, because there were a lot of things that looked cute and like had potential, but again, just didn't really measure up for me specifically. And I told her that. I was like, hey, this isn't really working out. I'm not in love with these products. And they basically told me like, okay, you can send us all this stuff back and don't post the video. They basically were like, we don't want to be affiliated with you because you're not giving us a 5-star review. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I ended up sending them the few things that they sent me back, and I didn't post the video because it was boring. It was basically me sitting right here saying, cute, but not for me. Not for me. Has potential, not for me. It was a really boring video, so that's really why I didn't post it. But yeah, this company basically wants money. They want their voice out in the world. They want sales, and they really don't care about what goes into their products or how they hold up or whatever. And they They just want monetary things. So I didn't post the video, sent stuff back, and I'm not outing the brand or anything, but they've since then blocked me on Instagram, and I haven't heard anything else besides, if it's not a good review, don't post it. That was the last thing that they said to me before I sent the stuff back to them. But yeah, that's the other thing. This channel is moving away from makeup for a few videos. I'm taking a break from makeup, so you won't be seeing not that I've really posted too much makeup anyway, but you're not going to really be seeing a whole lot of makeup. My channel's going towards kind of like a traveling kind of vlog type thing. I have some things in the works, so stay tuned for that. Starting next week is when I'm going to be filming the new stuff for this channel. I have at least one other person who's going to be joining me in videos and upcoming videos and stuff. Maybe a couple different people. I'm branching out and I'm making friends here. Great. But yeah, this channel is moving away from makeup for right now. I'll come back to it eventually once I'm like, calm down from all this like ambassador bullshit that was happening. But I don't know when I'll be able to post my next one, because the next video that I will be posting is the one that's in the works for next week. So turn the notifications on, because I don't have a set schedule on when I post. If you are not following me on my social medias or subscribe to me, what are you doing? I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back. Baby, I'm back. And we're going to be filming more. And we're going to be doing more. And I can't wait for you guys to see what's going to be happening on this channel. Take a moment to compliment someone today. Go out and say something nice to someone. Spread love and positivity. Wherever you are joining me from, I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, day, evening, night, wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you for letting me rant and being here, I guess. I don't know. But I hope to see you guys within the next couple weeks when my new series on this channel debuts. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good one. Bye, guys.